The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the owner, staff, or management of this radio station.
It's time for Self-Aid Success Stories with Helen Wu. Helen Wu was faced with many challenges throughout her life, so she looked for inspirations in her life to turn her many struggles into success. Having to overcome all the trials and tribulations in her past, Helen is here now and ready to say to the world,
I will survive! I will survive!
get rid of the past and live for the future. Life can only get better from here. Hence the word self-aid. We must all help ourselves now if we want to get to a better place in life. Helen believes that positive thought in combination with positive action leads to a positive outcome. And laughter truly is the best medicine. Helen Wu is the author of the book Self-Aid, Inspirations to Turn Struggles to Success. Inspired by Ellen DeGeneres, Helen reminds her listeners to laugh a little or laugh a lot, but just don't forget to laugh. And now, on to the show, Self-Aid Success Stories. And here's our host, Helen Wu.
Hello, how are you today? This is Helen Wu with Self-Aid Success Stories. Okay, for those of you tuning in for the first time, and for those of you who do tune in and get my podcast and all that, welcome, welcome. Self-aid is basically self-help, so here you go again. We're always helping ourselves. Every single day we wake up in the morning, what do? We're helping ourselves. And you know what? Self-aid is not selfishness. We got to get that through our heads. And for those people who say, hey, just because you're caring for yourself and taking care of everything that has to do with you does not make you a selfish person. A selfish person who is somebody who I think wants only for themselves and never wants to give and help others. That's a selfish person. But to basically help ourselves every single day, it is a big gift that we can offer to other people. I'm going to give you some quotes today because of my guest coming in, and it's going to all relate to the same thing. First and foremost, a healthy attitude is contagious, but don't wait to catch it from others. Be a carrier. That is Tom Stoppard. He was the British playwright, I think born in Czechoslovakia at the time, wrote Shakespeare in Love. Isn't that a beautiful quote, though? Because it really starts with our attitude. It starts with how we think. Now, how we think has everything to do with how we become, how we take care of our bodies, and how we actually are. And so a healthy attitude, don't let it be just from other people. We have to be the carrier of that healthy attitude. I think that's a great quote. Here's another. The way you think, the way you behave, the way you eat can influence your life by 30 to 50 years. That's Deepak Chopra. And let me tell you, we all know who Chopra is, right? He's amazing. And it really is true. It's the way we think. It's the way we act. It's the way what we put into our bodies and how we treat our bodies that give us more years in our lives physically, yes? And once we're physically also very capable, we're extremely mentally capable. It works together. Here's another quote that I love. It takes more than just a good-looking body. You've got to have the heart and soul to go with it. And that is Epictetus. I'm trying to pronounce his name correctly. He's a Greek philosopher. Epictetus, I think I said it quite nicely. I'll tell you why I say it starts with the attitude, because it keeps us healthy in body, mind, and spirit. It all starts there. And the reason why I am talking about healthy attitude, healthy eating, healthy body, healthy everything is because I'm going to introduce to you today somebody who can help you. I know that we all live busy lives today, but he can help you busy folks out there. Remember to take care of your bodies. Remember that health is we can still fit it into our schedule. He is the founder of Global Fitness Club, and we're going to ask him a lot of questions today. I'm going to welcome Brian Kelly. Hello, Brian.
Hi, Helen. How are you doing tonight?
I am good. Welcome to the show, Self-Aid Success Stories. I'm so glad you're on with me tonight.
Thank you so much. I'm very, very happy to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation. I love it.
Well, Thank you. And I know that you started your company, Global Fitness Club, because I think that you found that your health was maybe deteriorating, or there was something in that terms. You found that you wanted to start caring more about your health. So please do tell me about what happened.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was almost by accident that I started Global Fitness Club. And the reason I say that is because what you just said is true. I got a health screen last year, and for my entire life leading up till now, I'm 48 now, I had never, not once, had a single bad result come back. Not a single bad result out of all of the different things they test. Not once had I ever had a bad result. And I've never been obese either. I've never been obese. So I just never had health problems throughout my entire life. And last year, I didn't have just one. I had several numbers come back that were near danger zone numbers.
Really?
And it was a wake-up call. It was a smack in the face. I had been overextending myself. You're an entrepreneur. Other entrepreneurs can attest and relate to this, where we overextend ourselves to the point where it just catches up to you, and before you know it, you don't know that you've been doing what you've been doing and taking all the time away from staying healthy and pouring every ounce you have into your respective business. So I just had to put the brakes on and stop what I was doing and change my life.
Well, was there like a long time frame from the last doctor visit?
Yeah, it was over a year. I mean, I honestly didn't get checkups very often because it was like status quo every single time I went. It was like, oh, you're good. Go on with your business. I do it every 2 or 3 years, a checkup, a normal physical.
Wow. Did you find that your health deteriorated, or you got into this physical state because you were working too hard?
That was one of them, yes. It was a vicious cycle because not just working too hard, but too long, meaning too many hours each and every day and night, which then led to less sleep, which led to more stress, which led to, as you can see, it just feeds upon itself. And before you know it, and then that led me to, I didn't have time to work out, so I told myself, so instead of working out, I'd go grab a glass of wine to relax. So the vicious cycle just continued to snowball. And I didn't realize that it was very subtle over the course of a couple of years, 3 years or so, where I'd worked myself into this frenzy and didn't even realize how bad I had made it. And it was all me. I did this all to myself. And so I had to right the ship. And that's where I just started working out again. And that's a whole other story. But I had always worked out on and off most of my life. Until this last few years, I wasn't doing it enough, obviously. And had gotten involved in a program called P90X, a home fitness program back in 2008.
What is it called again?
P90X.
P90X, got it.
Yeah, very popular. It's a series of DVDs that you work out. You pop them into your TV and you work out at home, and you just get some resistance bands and some optional equipment. Beyond that, you don't even need optional equipment, and you just work out. And I've been dabbling in P90X for years. I'd never done the full-blown 90-day, 6-day-a-week program ever.
6 days a week? Whoa.
yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, and one day I came home after, I was in denial, to be honest, Helen, for 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks, that those numbers couldn't be right. They must have been using equipment from Radio Shack or some other outfit.
So the doctor had to be wrong.
Right, and so, but I wasn't feeling any better. Nothing made me feel better because I wasn't doing anything about it. So came home one day, my son had just gotten home from school, and I said, I had just gotten home from work, and I said, what have you been up to today? So he goes, I just finished working out. I said, it's time. I'm going in full bore. This is it. I'm moving in. So I began doing P90X.
Go on.
Pardon?
I'm sorry.
No, I just got back into P90X, and then they had this program, they being the company that produced the series P90X. It's called Beachbody. They came out with a certification program, which enables people, once you become certified in P90X, you can then train it legally at any health club or any venue you desire because you are now certified. And so I did that solely for my own accountability. You were talking about mindset. You were hitting a nail on the head, Helen. That is perfect. It's about attitude, and that's all I was doing was setting my attitude to say, I'm putting time, money, and investment into this as far as the certification goes, and I'm learning more about the program. I'm really just immersing myself into it. And while I was going through that program, an aha moment hit me, And I thought, I have all the equipment. I have cameras, I have streaming, I have the software, I have everything I need. I can just go online and train people for free. They can come on and work out with me for free 6 nights a week.
Okay, and that's what you started doing.
Yeah, and so, again, and even at that point, I had not really thought of it as a quote-unquote business until I started, not started, but continued going to entrepreneurial events as you do, Helen. We meet each other in several different places at different times on weekends and different events. And people would ask, what are you up to? And I'd say, well, I'm kind of in between gigs right now. I'm not really doing anything, but except I started working out, and I figured I got the certification. I just will stream it live and let people work out with me. And they, what do you charge? I said, nothing, it's free. I'm just doing this to work out. And to a person, every one of them said, what a great idea. You need to monetize that somehow. And I said, after I got that reaction about 5 times, I finally said, okay, I've got something. I better start working on it as a business. And so I have. I'm in the throes of doing that at this very moment.
Well, you know what? I want to counteract just one thing you said earlier, because I get that some people think that obviously over drinking is always an issue with health, but still the doctors say today 1 glass of red wine a day is still healthy. Am I correct in saying that?
Everything in moderation.
Yes.
I'm not going to sit here and preach to anybody that thou shalt not touch alcohol, because I personally do. I enjoy it on occasion myself. I am into fitness, but I'm also into enjoying life. So here's the deal. The bottom line is, if you want absolute quickest and best results for your body, for your fitness, for your health, then you cut out the alcohol.
Oh, okay. You cut out the sugar. Is that what you're saying? The sugar?
It's the alcohol. It slows your metabolism. It does a lot of, it's not good for your overall health, for building muscle, for recovering from workouts, etc. However, 1 glass of wine, I'm not a nutritionist. Let me just say that right now. But I have read a lot. I've become very educated on fitness in general. And alcohol, they just say, if you're going to drink it, do it in moderation, and that's the end of it. Don't pick yourself over it. If you want to have a glass of wine on occasion, go for it. I do.
Yes,
and
I agree.
I'm in the best shape of my life right now, so it's okay.
Well, I know, I've seen you. Well, Brian Kelly, we're going to be right back with you. Yes, everything in moderation. I believe strongly. Moderation. We're going to come right back. This is Helen Wu with Self-Aid Success Stories. Let's talk about health.
Adversity, we all face it. It's about keeping a positive attitude and how we can handle ourselves during these times. Helen Wu believes that laughing is the best medicine. Find out how and why when we come back to Self-Aid Success Stories with Helen Wu, right after these messages.
The Mary Beth Wells Hour is a talk radio show where we reach out, reach deep, and talk about topics of substance. We'll cover points of interest, such as World War II and the Holocaust, the Vietnam War, the planets and the oceans, skydiving, rock climbing, and much, much more. Join me every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as we delve into and discuss fascinating subjects. It's a program to pique your interest for sure.
Do holidays and celebrations get you down and leave you feeling frazzled? Then join Sandy Fowler and her guests on Heart-Filled Holidays every Monday at noon, 11 a.m. Central on TogiNet.com. Sandy will help you discover the secrets to having the celebrations you've always dreamed of while adding fun and meaning to your life. From Valentine's Day to Christmas to special family events, Sandy Fowler will show you how to put the fun and meaning back into those special days by taking a look at what we can do to turn the upcoming holidays into cherished memories and show us how to allow it to intertwine with everyday life. For more on the show, Sandy, and to receive Sandy's Holiday Happiness Booklet, go to heartfilledholidays.com. Then get set to discover the secrets to creating happy holidays and happy everydays by joining Sandy Fowler and her guests on Heartfilled Holidays every Monday at noon Eastern Standard Time on TogiNet.com.
I got all my life to live, and I got all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will survive. I will survive.
Welcome back to Self-Aid Success Stories with Helen Wu. She's here to encourage you to help yourself to make a positive difference in your life. Here to make you laugh and maybe cry, to be a friend, to listen to, and to chat with you. So let's get back to the show, Self-Aid Success Stories. Here again is your host, Helen Wu.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Helen Wu. Today, we are here to talk about getting healthy in body, mind, and spirit. And we're going to start with the founder of Global Fitness Club. It's going to help yourself get healthy even through really busy days and busy times. Brian Kelly. Hello, Brian.
Hello, Helen.
Okay, so yes, we were talking a bit about the workout regimen. Now, what would you suggest to the very busy entrepreneur who says, "Oh, I have so little time in my schedule. How am I going to fit this in?"
Yeah, that's a very common question, and it's one that I would often ask myself and give myself the excuse that I did not have the time. And what I now say is you should really be asking yourself a different question, is you cannot afford not to make the time. And what I mean by that is when you don't work out for long periods of time, like weeks at a time, and you let it get ahead of you, the lifestyle, the bad lifestyle, you start seeing your productivity decrease over time. And it gets worse. And your quality of work, your quality of thinking, everything, your quality of life goes down the tube. And so if you would just take 1 hour a day, and I know that sounds like a lot, Helen, you take 1 hour a day, you do some fitness, workout. It could be P90X, it could be Insanity, it could be something different. It doesn't have to be what we do. You do it 1 hour a day, you're going to actually see an increase in productivity that exceeds that 1 hour that you spent in working out that day. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does. So you're saying, if we apply just a little bit of a workout in a day, we actually get so much more done. So we get much more productive and we just create much more with our lives.
Exactly. And then you sleep better. You then start eating better. You crave alcohol less. It just is a fact. It happens to everybody I run into because your body is healthy and it's not looking for something to calm it down to relax it. It's been relaxed naturally by working out, by doing exercise.
Yeah, we have to remind people, I think, Brian, that exercise is such a beautiful stress reliever. I mean, I play tennis because I am stressed out a lot of time, and boy, does tennis relax me. I love it with a passion.
And
love it.
That's a great tip right there. Pick something you love to do that involves exercise, body movement, and that's perfect for you. Tennis, that's great. A lot of cardio in there. You're running, you're moving, you're using a lot of muscles, you're changing direction. That's a great one. And tennis
absolutely
isn't easy.
Crazy.
You're moving a lot.
You know what it is? I think people need to recognize is that once they start, like you said, once you start, it might be strenuous the first 2 times or something, maybe just the first time only, but it gets so much easier and so much more fun. You start enjoying it.
That is a perfect point. In fact, for something that I do, which I'm hosting these P90X routines, it takes up to 2 weeks to get over the soreness that you're going to experience from doing the workout. Mm-hmm. Just knowing that you're going to be that way for 2 weeks is actually a good thing because, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not going to be sore now in 5 more days, now in 4 more days, now in 3 more days. Okay, and then once you're over the soreness, it's like, awesome. And then you start seeing results, not just in the mirror, but like I was saying before, you sleep better, you feel better. Other people will notice, just as you were talking to me offline, that I've got another woman who works out on a regular basis. Her name's Deborah. She's getting comments from her colleagues at work, and it's just making her beam and smile. And that just brings a smile to my face to know that somebody was impacted in a positive way as a result of working out. It's awesome.
I wish, I think we need more influential, inspiring people like you to actually remind people that working out does not have to be a tough task. It actually, once you start, God, you start enjoying it. I mean, you start doing it lightly, and then you start doing it with your own pace and whatnot. And I think most people really exercise a lot, and people are like, oh, they're maniacal creatures with exercise. But people don't realize that it becomes an enjoyment of life.
You're absolutely right. That's so funny because so many people, including myself, you look at someone that is supremely fit, and it seems like all they ever do is either run or go to the gym. It's like, God, you're like weird. But really, the interesting thing that happens, and this is a good thing, once you get into it and you're over the soreness, you become slightly addicted to it. And that's a good addiction if there's ever one to have. That is a good addiction to have, is to want to go work out, because if you take a few days off, your body feels it, you feel it, and you go, I don't like the way I feel. I know it makes me feel good. I'm going back. And it just keeps tugging you back. That's the beautiful thing about it. You make it a habit, and the habit will then take over. It's awesome.
It's incredibly nice. Now, you are the founder of Global Fitness Club. Now, do you help people, obviously, with this exercise regimen, this exercise program, and help people or teach them to teach themselves how to eat healthy? I mean, is it part of does it go hand in hand, exercise and eating?
Yeah, eating and exercise, actually, they go more hand in hand than a lot of people think. And this was actually an eye-opener to me. Again, remember, I had never had health issues, so I never counted calories. I didn't eat total junk, but I didn't eat total perfect food either, ever. And so I finally had to take a step back and take a look at what I was eating for the first time in my life. And we offer a resource that's not through Global Fitness Club. It's through the company that provides P90X called Beachbody. We have a link on our website. It's a membership link. Once you become a member of Beachbody, and it's like $2.99 a week, I think is what it costs. Included in that, you get what's called a meal plan, or access to a meal plan. This is what I did. My wife and I sat down over a weekend, spent a couple hours. We built a meal plan for myself, for my wife, and for my son, all individually to our own, based on our own physicality as we currently were, and our what we wanted to see, what results we wanted, what was our goal. And it just spat out a recipe for every day, like 3 meals a day with snacks in between, and it covered every single day of the week. And it just spat it out. And all you do is you go to the grocery store, you buy normal food. You're not starving yourself. It's not vacuum packed. It's not freeze dried. You get great tasting salmon. We've eaten rice, had steak on occasion. I mean, we don't deprive ourselves. My wife started losing weight before she even started working out, just going on the on the meal plan. But nutrition, it's said, the numbers vary, but it's up to 80% of the equation is nutrition, and only 20% is exercise. So if you're not doing this, if you haven't changed your nutrition habits, well, you're going to be an uphill struggle. Yes, you'll still feel better by working out and relieve the stress, as you were talking about with tennis or any other workout. It's still good for you, but you've got to concentrate on the nutrition and make it the higher priority than the fitness side of it. Make them both part of the family, but really target nutrition.
And okay, I definitely agree with that. But back to the everything in moderation question. I asked this is because I myself love healthy foods, but I also will occasionally fall, and everything in moderation. Like I said, I will never do like junk food 2 days in a row or a whole week. I would do it once in a while, once every 2 weeks, or once when I crave it, and it's not that often, but every now and then I know that it's moderation. What would you tell the person that has a lot of junk food in their cabinet and they're craving it? I mean, obviously moderation is in your willpower, right?
Yeah, great question. And there's varying degrees of how you change. Some can do it cold turkey. Others need to do it subtly. It depends on the person. But large part of it, we kind of touched on it earlier, is to exercise, because when you do, and I don't mean just do it once in a week and then wait, do it one more time the next week. Get on a regimen, do at least 3 days a week, at least. If you can, and everybody has 3 hours a week. Everybody. Do 3 days a week. You'll feel better, and your cravings for that junk start to slide away. And you start looking in the cabinet and going, those chips, they're just not speaking to me right now. I don't want those chips.
I agree with you. I've been through this.
It's amazing. Isn't it amazing how that works? It's awesome.
It really is amazing how that works. I have to say, for those people who have not experienced it, it really does work that way.
Yeah.
Because I experienced it, and I'm like, wow, got on the scale. I'm like, whoa, I feel good. I'm eating healthier, and wow, the weight, there's a whole difference in how I feel. There's a difference in my weight. There's a difference in everything. I love it.
Yeah, and isn't it great? It's like it's a vicious cycle in the right way. It's a good viciousness, if there's such a thing.
No, I agree with you. Well, on the next segment, we're not even there yet, but on the next segment, I'm going to ask you about your 5 tips. I just want to, wait for a little later to get those 5 tips out on a happy and healthy life that you have to give to the listeners. In the meantime, yes. So exercise, nutrition. I wanted to just know, you were saying, let's see, how important a role does it play in our overall fitness? And we're covering all that right now. Nutrition, exercise. But you also mentioned, I believe, that you have an accountability workout partner?
Yes. That's
really...
actually my son.
Ah.
Yeah. And it's not just my son, but it's everyone else who comes on and works out with us, because I can't see them, just so everybody knows this. I can't see you while I'm working out, but you can see me, so you don't have to worry about someone peering in on your home. You're watching, just as if you're watching like a recording, but it just happens to be live. It's like watching television. It's not much different. But my son is really my...
Brian, is it safe to say it's like turning on an exercise DVD? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to follow you right now and work out with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful.
And the accountability partner, if I had to give one tip on the fitness side of things, not nutrition, but the fitness, the number one tip I always give people is, as soon as you humanly possibly can, find somebody, a buddy, a spouse, a coworker, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a cat or a dog. Well, no, not that, but you want to find somebody that is interested not just in dabbling, but in actually committing to getting fit, and they want to do it with you. They don't have to be with you physically if you're going to the Global Fitness Club, because it's online, but you can call, you can be on Skype together at the same time and say, hey, are you doing it? Or call them before the workout, and then after the workout's over, say, I want you to send me a picture. I want to see that you sweat. I want to know you did it. That kind of accountability.
Okay, well, Brian Kelly, we're going to go into our next break of the evening, and come on back with us, okay? Because we have Brian Kelly's 5 tips to being happy and healthy. So come on back. This is Helen Wu with Self-Made Success Stories.
I got all my life to live, and I got all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will survive. I will survive.
Adversity, we all face it. It's about keeping a positive attitude and how we can handle ourselves during these times. Helen Wu believes that laughing is the best medicine. Find out how and why when we come back to Self-Aid Success Stories with Helen Wu right after these messages. Okay, we will. We're going to teach you how to tell your money where to go. It's Intelligent Investing with Pam Otten on TogiNet. Learn how to be a savvy investor from someone who has your best interest at heart. Pam Otten is a financial advisor who loves to help successful business owners and entrepreneurs understand the mysteries of the investment world. And she's not afraid to share that knowledge. Pam is an unashamed Christian and qualified kingdom advisor, which means she's trained and committed to integrating biblical principles into her financial advice. Pam believes investing isn't rocket science. This is the financial advisor who's in your corner and truly understands and cares about you and helping you achieve your goals. Securities and advisory services are offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. It's Intelligent Investing with Pam Otten on TogiNet.
Mobile is the future, and the future is now. Listen in each week, Tuesdays 4 to 5 Central, to Brilliant Mobile Marketing with your host, Mobile Mary, as we simplify the hottest marketing channel, mobile marketing, and share secrets on how you can use mobile to be more brilliant, be more profitable, and have more fun in your industry. Join us each week to learn from brilliant business leaders on how to simply and easily capture a list of raving fans and turn them into loyal customers. This show will help business owners, authors, and speakers realize their own brilliance by tapping into the insights of fellow brilliant business leaders. We will also showcase brilliant tools, both traditional and digital, that will make you more brilliant in everything you do. Don't miss your date with brilliant mobile marketing and your host, Mobile Mary, America's mobile marketing expert, as she shares her success strategies every Tuesday from 4 to 5 Central on the Rockstar Radio Network.
I got all my life to live, and I got all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will survive. I will survive.
Welcome back to Self-Aid Success Stories with Helen Wu. She's here to encourage you to help yourself to make a positive difference in your life. Here to make you laugh and maybe cry, to be a friend, to listen to, and to chat with you. So let's get back to the show. Self-Aid Success Stories. Here again is your host, Helen Wu.
Hello, everyone. How are you this evening? This is Helen Wu, back from our last break. Let me tell you something. Today we are talking about health. And how do we keep healthy? We, first of all, our mind, body, and spirit, we want it all. We want to be in harmony, healthy-wise, with all three. And today I'm on with P90X certified professional and founder of Global Fitness Club, Brian Kelly. Hello, Brian Kelly.
Hello again, Helen.
Well, I think everybody is dying to hear your 5 tips to a happy and healthy life. Should we get to it first, or should we talk about some other things and let them just kind of
That's fine. We
wait
can,
a little longer?
we can run through a couple of them, and you can interject as you see necessary. That's fine.
Okay. Well, first of all, for those who did not catch the beginning, I want to remind people that try not to wait until it's too late. Brian had not realized that his health was deteriorating, and he finally got a bad checkup, basically a bad physical, right? Came back with not so positive results that you wanted, right? And then you really said, oh boy, I better take charge. But I guess if they start now, right, we wouldn't have to have that kind of report from our physical when we go check the doctor's office, right?
Right.
So I just wanted everybody to know this is why you are doing what you're doing, and this is actually how you got to it.
Exactly.
Founder of
Couldn't have said it
Global
better.
Fitness Club. All right. Do tell me some of your 5 tips to a happy, healthy life.
And real quick, shout out to Christopher Rausch, who's the founder of the Kick-Ass Guide to Life. He's the one that spurred me on to create 5 tips, actually, for his radio show, which I was on a few weeks ago. So I want to give him a shout out. Love him like a brother. He's going to be coming to my place on the 18th. That's a different topic. I've got a big fitness event on the 18th I want to tell you about. Don't have to be on the show. We can do it wherever.
Where is that going to be?
So it's going to be at my house up here in Lancaster, California.
Where is
and
it again?
Real quick, people can get to it. Just go to globalfitnessclub.com / the word drive, the number 4, and the word life all together. Drive for life. All the details are there. And
Got it. And now,
out.
if they want to just find more information on you, they can go to globalfitnessclub.com, correct?
Correct. And there's an about link, and there's a contact form if they want to email me, talk to me. There's Facebook. They can get in contact with me there any way they like.
Okay. And Brian Kelly is pretty easy spelling. BRANKELLY.
Yeah, BRIANKELLY.
Yes, that's what I said. Okay. Well, Brian, everybody's waiting for the 5 tips to a happy, healthy life. Tell me at least one of them.
All right. And these are in no particular order, but first one I have is kind of an obvious one, is get fit. If you don't have your health, you don't have really anything. So,
Yes.
like we talked about before, we won't cover it again, but you're constantly battling fatigue, even illness, and your productivity suffers, et cetera. So that's tip number 1. We've covered that one. We beat it to death pretty good. The second one I have is, this is kind of, not all of these are right in the same realm as fitness, but they do kind of follow suit. And this is serve others. So ask yourself, how can I help or serve others today? I do that often because I'm there helping people to get fit, so it's easy for me to do that. But it's a good attitude. So if you start with a giving attitude, if you begin with a giving attitude, the folks' gratitude that you receive will further inspire you to continue to act that way and become an example to even more people.
Yeah,
So
no,
a
that's a
serving
wonderful thing. And that's a great reason why you want to be healthy, because you want to be able to serve others and you want to live in
Right.
gratitude. I think I understand this tip very, very well. Very well. I love this.
And
But you
the
can-
third one would be just to tell folks, ease up. Stop taking life so seriously. Have some fun. There's enough time in life to be serious, right, Helen? I mean, there's
Yes.
too much time. So
Yes.
lighten up, smile, kid around, joke, and above all, love. Just have a loving attitude toward others. I do this even on the workouts with my son. We actually have a little fun while we're working out. I'll say something silly, we'll laugh. We've had times where before we'd come on live camera feed, we're doing, the intro jingle is playing. And right before we come up, we're goofing around, and we come up just laughing our butts off right when the camera comes on. It's okay.
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, a lot of people take even working out way too seriously. I mean, don't go overboard and be so crazy and dumb that you injure yourself because you're laughing so hard. Just do it as with everything, do it with moderation. But have fun. Inject fun in every area of your life. So ease up.
That is so great. You have to remind so many people, because so many people relate working out with something strenuous and tough and
Yeah.
stressful. And if they get this attitude that you're giving them, it is such a healthy tip to tell them just to, hey, ease up. It's going to be fun.
And
It really
I
is.
say this nearly every day. Every day that we work out, I say it live almost every day. I say, look, it's okay to have fun while you work out. So let's do it. Let's have some fun. All right.
Yes.
Let's see. Another one is have a positive attitude, but don't rely just on that 100% to get you through. So, it's one thing to have that positive attitude, and it is extremely important to remove as much negativity from your mind as you possibly can. But it doesn't stop there. Once you've changed your mindset for the better, you don't simply wave this quote-unquote magic wand and poof, everything in your life comes together, as we've been getting taught lately through different venues. A proper mindset is extremely important, but it's even more important that you also act or do in order to get the results you desire. So don't just think positive, but act on those positive thoughts and ideas.
Very important. Very
And
important.
the last tip follows right on that one's heels. It's, don't just keep your eye out for opportunities. Don't just look for them and say, oh, there's one. If one is presented, then act on it. Just go for it. This is more on the business side of things. But even on fitness, if there's an opportunity, look, there is this place you can go online for free. You don't have to pay $100+ for a DVD set. And you can do it from your home, from your hotel, from your office. You can even do it from Starbucks because they have wireless connectivity. You look a little silly, but who cares? You can work out for free. So there's an opportunity in front of you. I'm not selling anything here. So you can work out for free. That is one of the opportunities in front of you right now. Once you see it presented in front of you, act on it. So that's just an example. So it's kind of like a radio station. If you're not tuned into the proper channel, you'll never hear what it is you were actually looking for. But now that you've heard what you're looking for, you've tuned into the channel, now you've heard it, don't stop there. Now act on it. Do something. Go forward with it. Don't just say, oh, I recognize it's an opportunity, and then just sit there limp. Go for it.
Go for it. Act on it. Act on it.
Exactly.
These are the tips from Brian Kelly. Now, do you see an improvement with everybody that you've influenced? And how quickly do they see this improvement once they start this program?
That is one of my all-time favorite questions, is how soon will they see results or improvement? And typically the run-of-the-mill, the real answer that I give people, and this shocks a lot of people, because, and I'm only speaking about the P90X routine regimen right now because that's what I am now the expert at. I don't do anything else. It's P90X. And people say, well, how long? Good gosh, I've been doing this for weeks. When am I going to actually start seeing results? And what you tell people, and this varies from person to person, but you want them to realize it's going to be a long time. It's going to be upwards of 60 days. Now, having said that, there are others who are seeing results much quicker. Deborah is one of them, and I still don't know how to pronounce her last name. It's either Reisdorf or Reisdorf. I think you may have met her at Craig's. She's been working out with us. I'm guessing it's been about 2 months now, maybe a little less. And her colleagues are making comments about her different look already. So it varies from person to person, and it's interesting because typically it takes longer to see the transformation in women than it does men, yet she is getting phenomenal results.
Tell me why. Tell me why. Why does it take longer?
I honestly don't know. I haven't actually had time to sit down and talk to her yet. I definitely will. She's probably really kicked butt on the nutrition side. The nutrition is so key. The better you adhere to a good nutrition plan, the quicker you will see results. That is the absolute key to it all. So one does not work without the other, but together they can form a beautiful thing. So yeah, results may vary, as they say on TV.
Yes. Results may vary. Now, men and women can see results in as short a time as what? What is like the quickest time one of your guys started showing results? Because you say a man shows results quicker.
Yeah, and it's not just shows, or it's not just looking in the mirror saying, "Wow, I see something." Again, if you adhere to good nutrition, you could see it within 3 to 4 weeks. You can actually start really seeing, hey, there's a new vein popping out of my bicep. Cool. Or that's a guy thing, of course. Women don't want to see that, but cool. right. But there's one very important thing to understand here. If people haven't worked out in a while, if they haven't been into the fitness scene for a while, a very common occurrence, and this may shock you, it may shock others, but you can actually gain weight in the first month. And that's because your body
is heavier. Muscle is heavier than fat, right?
It's not actually because of the muscle, though, because muscle doesn't grow that fast. It's because of water retention. It's water retention due to the fact the body is kind of in shock and it's retaining water as a reaction to the shock it's been put through. So it's a temporary.
Good to know.
Yes, it's a temporary phenomenon. It goes away. So I always tell everybody, weigh yourself. Yes, weigh yourself. Get on a scale. Weigh yourself before you start, or right at the beginning, the first week. Then throw that thing in the closet and don't pull it out for at least another month. I'd give it longer, because you may look at it and go, I haven't lost a pound, or I gained 2 pounds, or I've only lost 2, but it won't be something you're going to be looking for if you haven't been doing it for a while. Fitness. The weight scale is one of the worst measuring tools on the planet, in my opinion. As far
I know. I'm a scale nut. Okay, but we're going to come right back. We're going into our last break, Brian. So come on back here, listeners, because we are here to talk about being happy because we're healthy. This is Helen Wu with Self-Made Success Stories. Come on back with Brian Kelly.
Adversity, we all face it. It's about keeping a positive attitude and how we can handle ourselves during these times. Helen Wu believes that laughing is the best medicine. Find out how and why when we come back to Self-Aid Success Stories with Helen Wu right after these messages. Believe in your fairy tale to make your zing come true.
I love it.
Debbie Glickman and Deanna Cohen know it. Join these soul sisters on TogiNet.com. Believe in your fairy tale to make your zing come true. Showcases 2 sides. 1, to help entrepreneurs showcase their products and tell their story of their happily ever after. And 2, to interview people who have realized their own fairy tale and doing something to benefit others. This show is here to help folks who have an idea and want to get it off the ground, as well as to inspire people to make the world a better place by doing something extraordinary or out of the box to help others. Both of these entrepreneurs have their own businesses and websites. With more information on their passions and successes, first for Debbie, fairytalewishesinc.com, and for Deanna, thenextbigzing.com. Believe in your fairy tale to make your zing come true with the Soul Sisters, Debbie Glickman and Deanna Cohen on TogiNet.com.
Familia, fe, identity, tradición. Latina life is never boring, but it can be muy dramática. So how do you coexist between the old school ways of la abuela and the new school life you're creating for yourself? without losing your faith, familia, identity, or tradiciones? Welcome to Living Latina with Francesca Escoto, where culture curls and curves collide in one spicy cross-cultural conversation that will leave you begging for más. Francesca tackles all the important issues, from politics to family values, to religion to, you guessed it, relationships and men. As Chief Everything Officer at the Wow Factor, Francesca is passionate about showing women of all cultures, ages, and lifestyles how to rock what they've got with style, sass, and smarts. Be sure to join her every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for Living Latina, only on the Woohoo Radio Network.
Welcome back to Self-Aid Success Stories with Helen Wu. She's here to encourage you to help yourself to make a positive difference in your life. Here to make you laugh and maybe cry. To be a friend, to listen to, and to chat with you. So let's get back to the show. Self-Aid Success Stories. Here again is your host, Helen Wu.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Today we are on with Brian Kelly and we're talking about healthy. To be healthy makes you happy. I'm going to repeat one quote that I mentioned earlier. The way you think, the way you behave, the way you eat can influence your life by 30 to 50 years. That's Deepak Chopra. And I'm going to add, please add some exercise in it to take care of your body as well. So I'm going to welcome back Brian Kelly for our last segment. Brian Kelly, hello there.
Hello again. So happy to be back.
Oh, I'm happy to have you. Now, you are a P90X certified professional and the founder of Global Fitness Club. Now, we do know that Global Fitness Club is an internet-based venue, provides online workouts to help people free of charge. Now, I do want to ask you, though, because I am definitely confused because I don't know what exactly P90X is.
Yeah, and I get that sometimes it's about 50-50. Half the population seems to know it well, and the other half has never heard of it. And what it stands for, P is for power, 90 is for, it's a 90-day program, and X is for, this is the one that scares people, extreme. You know, it's spelled incorrectly, it's extreme. And what it basically
that scares
is,
me already.
yeah. And that scares a lot of people off just by the name, and they say, oh my gosh, extreme, I'm a beginner, I need to start easy. And some people may need to. However, it can be modified. It is modified. We do this live online every day. And what I tell everybody is simply you make it as extreme as you want to. You don't have to do everything we do online live. Because my son and I have been doing this for years, off and on, and then just recently we finished a 90-day, full-blown 90 days live online on Global Fitness Club. And we can now do all the reps and all the moves that they do on the DVDs. We couldn't do that for a long time. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with not doing all of it. Yeah, absolutely.
You could do it to your own pace, right?
Right. And so P90X, to answer your question, though, it's a series of different types of workouts that work different parts of your body each day. It's called muscle confusion is what they call it. And so one day you're doing resistance training, which is like weight training, but we use resistance bands. You don't really need much equipment. So you're doing upper body. Today we did shoulders and arms, for example. Yesterday we did plyometrics, which was hopping and jumping. It was cardio. It was lower body, like legs. The day before that was chest and back, so it's upper body, but it's the front of the body. Let's see. Next is going to be X stretch, which is stretching, which is a great recovery day that you definitely need, and it helps your muscles recover, grow bigger, faster. Then following that is legs and back. So now we're down to lower body.
Brian, would it be safe to say that certain people, if they don't want to work an extremity of part of their body, that they don't do that exercise? Or do you still recommend every single upper, lower body, every single type of exercise for every single person? Because every single person's body is different, right?
Sure. And some people can have injuries. I've been nursing a knee injury for literally years. It's just stayed in check. And we address that each night when we do our workouts. Say, for those of you that have ankle or knee issues, here's the modified way to do this. Don't jump, just step from side to side. We give them and show them exactly how to do each. So the key to all of this, Helen, isn't that it's P90X or that it's some other routine. It's that you are moving, that you're putting in effort, and you're putting in as much effort as you humanly can, given the limitations that you yourself have with your body. What is wrong with your body? If you have issues, if you have wrist issues, if you have ankle issues, whatever those may be, we have modified moves for nearly everything. I mean, if you're in a wheelchair, obviously it's going to be difficult to do the lower body. It would be impossible. But you can do upper body. There are things you can do.
That is good to know, Brian.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are wondering, hey, you know what, this sounds pretty extreme, because just the word extreme being in P90X is kind of, freak me out. Because I'm one of those people who, if I look at someone doing one of those spinning classes, I freak out. I'm like, whoa, they're going too fast for me. But
and that's the other beauty of this. You're doing this from your own secluded home. No one's watching you. You do as much as you can and stop, and you don't have to feel that you're doing any less than anyone else because you're in a group setting. You're not. You're by yourself or you're with a friend. So and there are different venues for different people. Some people like the group atmosphere to be with other people, and that's okay. Some Global Fitness Club may not be for them, but go get in that group setting and get involved in some classes and start working out.
Well, let me say to those listeners out there, you don't really want to, because I know that a lot of the clubs, especially in Southern California, people are all made up and they're like looking, I hate to say it, like it's the meat market. But for those of you out there that really just want to exercise, you could be in your big oversized T-shirt, you could be in your grubs and your scrubs, and you could just really just want to work out on your own. This is a great way of exercising and being in your own little space without people bothering you. I think that's a great way of exercising.
Yeah, it takes all the pressure off. You don't have anybody judging you. You don't feel that they're judging you. You are your own judge, and all you have to do is what you can do. And I say this all the time. That's enough. What you can do is enough. Yeah.
So you're telling me that P90X, you can do it at your own pace, basically.
Yeah, and I say that constantly through the workouts. If you need a break now, take it. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Just when you've recovered, rejoin us. Wherever we're at, just join back in. It's not a problem. I say don't kick yourself for not doing the last 8 reps that we did. Instead, pat yourself on the back for doing the first 10 that you did do, because you will get results by doing that.
Nice. Let me ask you, Brian, what is the age limit you think is for this that you recommend? What's the age limit?
That's an awesome question. And what I always respond with on that is just from people I know personally or know of. I know my son personally, very personally. He started.
Well, I would hope so, Brian Kelly.
Yeah. He started at the ripe old age of 12 in 2008. And it was for youth football. The reason I bought the package to begin with is the DVD home fitness system. So 12, from personal experience, because it's your own body weight that's involved in resistance bands. You don't need any dumbbells or heavy equipment of any kind. You can acquire dumbbells and use them. That's fine, but it's safe for kids. They would not allow my son in on the floor of 24-hour fitness. Not just not to work out. You're not allowed, period, because they don't want kids in there climbing around and breaking stuff. So he couldn't even go all the way into the gym.
Liability too, Brian. They're worried that kids under 16, aren't aware of how to use the equipment.
Yeah, and I get that, and I'm fine with that. That's not a problem at all. But this was an alternative way that I could get him starting to beef up, to get strength. I just wanted him to get more strength, for more confidence. Back then, he was in youth football, and he said,
He's a football player, huh?
He was then, just youth football.
Nice.
So 12 on the lower end of the spectrum. Now, on the upper end of the spectrum, I know of, I don't know him personally, but I know I think he's his nephew, a 75-year-old man that's doing it.
Excuse me, 75-year-old. Wow.
75. So there really isn't, the only limit is just your own physical body. I mean, you could be 20 and have so many issues with your body that you're worse off than an 80-year-old. I get that. You could have injuries from sports, what have you. But just listen to your body, do what your body will allow you to do. If you have questions about, I have this ailment, I have this issue, I have this problem with my leg, my knee, blah, 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 they can come to Global Fitness Club and hit the contact link and shoot us an email, through the form and say, this is my deal. Is there anything you can do? And there may not be, and that's okay. I'll be honest with them, but at least they'll know what they can do forward. Hopefully I can help them.
Well, Brian, I only have 3 minutes left for the show, but I want to ask you about the 75-year-old man. Now, what is his testimonial? What would he say to you right now?
That age is not a factor. You just, basically what I always say is don't stop moving. Too many people think that when they get old, becoming sedentary is a good thing. Don't move. No, your joints want to be moved. They want to be exercised. That lubricates them, keeps them viable, pliable.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
That's a great tip even for us, Brian, for all ages. It's not just for the 75-year-olds.
Exactly. I agree.
That is such a great tip. I mean, oh my goodness, I know so many people that say, oh, their joints hurt, they're in pain. It's because they don't ever move.
You're right.
They need to move.
My knee that was bothering me for all those years actually got better when I hit P90X with everything I had with 6 days a week. It got better. It didn't cure it. It's not going to be cured. I'm going to have it, taken care of someday, but it has put that day off considerably because I moved. I kept moving.
Well, good for you. Well, I am so glad I saw you about 2 or so weeks ago. And honestly, Brian, I think I've known you for about almost 2 years. You are in top shape. You are in wonderful shape. So I do recommend to you listeners to take up and look for Brian Kelly on globalfitnessclub.com. He is the P90X certified professional and the founder of Global Fitness Club. It was such a pleasure having you on. Please end with something. Tell me something that you want the listeners to take away with them.
Just what we've been saying. If you do nothing more, you don't have to come to Global Fitness Club. You don't have to go to one of the big gyms. Just move. Get up and move and do it on a consistent basis. It's very imperative and key to keeping your health and to reduce your stress. And you will notice so many good things that come over as a result of it. I would say find a class, find something you can do on a regular basis, or get an accountability partner and get with them and make a plan and go forward with some kind of fitness and make it part of your life, make it a habit, and don't ever give up.
And this is one of the biggest keys to happiness because I see a difference in you. Thank you so much, Brian Kelly, for joining me. It was such a pleasure. I so appreciate you.
Thank you, Helen. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Look for Brian Kelly on globalfitnessclub.com and get to work. Get happy now. It starts with your health. Thank you, listeners. I love you all. Now, laugh a little, laugh a lot. Just do not forget to laugh. And join me again next week, okay? This is Helen Wu with Self-Aid Success Stories. Love you all. Come on back with me next week.
Thank you for being a part of Self-Aid Success Stories with Helen Wu.